The rain poured relentlessly over the small town, turning the streets into glistening rivers of sorrow. Among the gray, weary faces hurrying to escape the storm, a little girl named Amara sat alone under a flickering street lamp, hugging her knees to her chest. Her eyes, deep and hollow, reflected the pain of a life she had not chosen, but had been forced to endure. She was only 7. Yet the weight of loneliness, neglect, and uncertainty pressed down on her tiny shoulders as if she were carrying a burden far beyond her years. The cold seeped into her bones, but it was nothing compared to the coldness she felt inside a void left by absent parents, lost love, and the harsh judgments of the world. That night, as the thunder growled overhead, Amara's heart whispered a single wish: to be seen, to be loved, to be healed. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and the transformative power of love, take a moment to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to join us in spreading light where it's needed most. Amara's life was far from unique in its sorrow. In the same town, a small building stood at the end of a winding street, walls painted in cheerful pastels that seemed almost defiant against the gray skies. It was the Healverse Center, a place that had quietly become a sanctuary for children who had been forgotten, overlooked, or abandoned. Within its walls, tears were not shamed, and laughter was not forced. Every child was given the chance to heal, to find a fragment of joy in the chaos of the world. The founder of Healverse, a woman named Laila, had herself grown up in hardship. She knew the silent screams of children who felt invisible, and she had made it her life's mission to transform despair into hope. Laila's vision was not merely about shelter or education. It was about nurturing the soul, restoring the delicate threads of self-worth that life had torn apart. She believed that even the smallest spark of care could ignite a lifetime of courage, and every child who walked through her doors carried the potential for a brighter tomorrow. Amara's first days at Healverse were uncertain. She hovered on the edges, watching other children play, feeling like an outsider peering into a world she had never belonged to. Simple acts, like the laughter of a child building a tower of blocks or the soft music drifting from the art room, seemed almost alien to her. Her past had taught her caution. Trust was a fragile thing, easily broken, and she had no intention of giving it away. Yet, Laila saw through the walls Amara had built. With a patience born of empathy, she offered small gestures: a gentle smile, a warm blanket, a quiet presence that said, "You are safe here. You are valued here." The breakthrough came one chilly afternoon, when Amara wandered into the music room. A young volunteer was strumming a guitar, filling the room with soft, melodic notes that seemed to seep into every corner of her aching heart. Amara sat on the floor, hesitant, as the music wrapped around her like a protective cocoon. Laila entered silently and handed her a small drum. At first, Amara resisted, unsure what to do, but the volunteer encouraged her gently, and with trembling hands, she began to tap the drum. 1 beat, 2 beats. Soon, a rhythm emerged. The sound was raw, imperfect, yet powerful. It was the first time she felt she could express herself without fear of judgment. For the first time in years, Amara felt the stirrings of joy. Healing, however, was never a straight path. There were setbacks, moments when the shadows of the past crept in and threatened to consume her fragile sense of self. Nightmares haunted her sleep, and sometimes she would awake in panic, trembling and gasping for a reality that had never been kind. She lashed out at friends, pushing them away, terrified that closeness would bring inevitable pain. Each setback was painful to witness, yet Laila never gave up. She understood that scars were not erased with a single act of kindness. They required consistent, unwavering love. And so, she held space for Amara's fear, validated her feelings, and encouraged her to keep moving forward, one small step at a time. The other children became an unexpected source of healing as well. There was Ravi, a boy who loved painting and often lost himself in vibrant colors. He shared his brush and paints with Amara, patiently waiting as she hesitated, unsure where to start. Slowly, her first strokes appeared on the canvas, tentative, jagged, yet beautiful in their raw honesty. Then there was Sophia, who hummed while she braided hair, her soft voice creating a sense of warmth and belonging. Through these simple acts, Amara began to understand that connection was not always frightening. It could be gentle, safe, and restorative. One of the most transformative moments came during a weekly group session called Story Circles, where children were encouraged to share a memory, a fear, or a dream. Amara listened for weeks, quietly observing the courage of others before finally finding the strength to speak. Her voice was soft, shaky, yet determined. She spoke of the rain, the empty streets, the nights she had wished for a place to belong. And then she paused, unsure if she could continue. Laila's hand rested lightly on hers, a silent promise of support. "I wanted to be seen," Amara whispered, her words trembling, "and I wanted someone to care." The room fell silent, every child listening, every heart resonating with her vulnerability. For the first time, Amara realized she was not alone. Her pain did not define her. She could be more than her past. As weeks turned into months, the transformation was undeniable. Amara began to smile genuinely and often. Her laughter, once rare and fragile, became frequent, echoing through the pastel halls of Healverse like a beacon of hope. She discovered talents she never knew she had, from storytelling to music, and her confidence blossomed with each achievement. But perhaps the most remarkable change was in her heart, her ability to trust, to love, and to hope again. The journey of healing, of course, extended beyond Amara. Every child at Healverse faced their own battles, some visible, some hidden deep within. There was Tariq, who had fled conflict and struggled with nightmares, Laila, whose fragile health made every day a challenge, and countless others whose pain had been dismissed by the world. Together, under Laila's guidance, they built a community of resilience. They learned to support each other, to celebrate victories no matter how small, and to understand that happiness was not our destination, but a practice, a choice made every day, sometimes against the odds. Laila also recognized that healing required more than emotional support. The children needed opportunities to thrive academically, socially, and creatively. She partnered with local schools, volunteers, and organizations to provide tutoring, art programs, and life skills workshops. Every initiative was infused with a philosophy that every child deserved dignity, respect, and a chance to dream. And slowly, the town began to notice. What had once been seen as a forgotten corner of the community was now a symbol of hope, proving that love, patience, and care could change lives in ways no one had imagined. Amara's favorite place in Healverse became the rooftop garden. Here, she could look at the sky without fear, watch the sun rise and set, and tend to the tiny plants that symbolized growth and renewal. Each flower she nurtured became a metaphor for her own journey, a delicate life that, with care, could flourish against all odds. She learned that healing was not a linear path. It was a series of small victories, a mosaic of resilience, courage, and love. And as she looked over the city from the garden, she understood that her story, once filled with sorrow, could now inspire others to believe in the possibility of transformation. The culmination of their efforts was a special Healing Day celebration, a festival organized by Laila and the children themselves. The air was filled with music, laughter, and the aroma of home-cooked meals. Children performed dances, played music, and shared stories of their journeys. Amara, once a timid observer, now stood center stage, drumming alongside her friends. Her rhythm was strong, confident, and unafraid. Every beat was a testament to survival, courage, and the profound impact of love. The audience, volunteers, families, and community members watched in awe, many moved to tears by the resilience of these young hearts. It was on that day, standing beneath the golden glow of the sunset, that Amara finally understood the truth of heal versus happiness was not something to be found outside. It had been growing inside her all along. She realized that life would always have challenges, but she had the tools, the love, and the community to face them. She had been broken, yes, but she had also been mended, stronger and more radiant than ever. Before we finish this story, if it has touched your heart even a little, please engage with this video. Like, share, and comment below to let us know that hope, kindness, and second chances can truly change lives. And while you're here, leave a comment about which part of Amara's journey resonated most with you. It helps us continue sharing stories that inspire and heal. As the lights dimmed and the children slowly returned to their rooms, Amara lingered for a moment longer in the garden. She gently touched the leaves of the flowers, feeling the smoothness, the life pulsing through them, and whispered a quiet promise to herself. She would carry this light forward, not just for herself, but for others who, like her, had once felt invisible. Heal verse had shown her that even the smallest act of love could ripple outward, touching lives in ways no one could measure. And in that moment, with the wind softly brushing her hair and the sky painted with the colors of hope, Amara smiled a smile that was no longer hesitant or fragile, but full, complete, and ready to embrace the future. The journey of healing is never truly over, but for Amara and the children of Heal Verse, it had begun in the most profound way imaginable. Through love, compassion, and unwavering care, they had discovered that even in a world shadowed by pain, there was always light to be found, always a verse waiting to heal, always a song of happiness ready to be sung.